Well, me and your mom liked it. We're giving the Pikmin film with the baby in it 5 stars. When it comes to the launches of next-gen game consoles, there's this thin line between what makes gamers mutter already and what makes gamers mutter about time. Now, last week, nipping at the heels of the industry-shattering announcement that Game Pass was going to become more expensive, there were 2 separate rumors of canceled Xbox hardware, one for their own non-ROG dedicated handheld and one for their next-gen console, leading many to wonder, what if there's no next-gen for Xbox? Now, what's weird about these 2 stories is that they both started with 2 separate insiders posting on NeoGAF, and then that becoming headlines, and then those headlines getting debunked by Windows Central's Jez Corden. Don't worry about it, Jez is on the case. Why should anyone trust this one person? Read him and weep. I could easily be just as random a source claiming that Xbox... By the way, this is written by Jez Corden. I could easily be just as random a source claiming that Xbox hardware is still on the table. But it was our sources that confirmed the existence of the Xbox Series X and S, their specs, their price, in addition to reports on the canceled Cloud Keystone console, the shelved first-party Xbox handheld, and more recently, the Xbox Ally. So it's kind of understood when Windows Central gets a scoop, it's most likely that somebody at Microsoft directly told Jez Corden something. An outsider may think it's too personal to end a headline asking, will it even be worth it in the end, Microsoft? But in this case, I think Microsoft might actually be reading that headline. Anyway, when it came time to deny the rumors that Xbox would be leaving the hardware game, they chose to exclusively give their statement to Windows Central. They said, we are actively investing in our future first-party consoles and devices designed, engineered, and built by Xbox. For more details, the community can revisit our agreement announcement with AMD. So, that settles that. Now, I do think it's kind of weird that the official statement from Microsoft contains a hyperlink in it. It's not really clear if that was part of the email or if Windows Central put that there for our sake, but it leads to this video, which we have talked about before. It's Xbox President Sarah Bond doing this whole bit again.
At Xbox, our vision is for you to play the games you want with the people you want, anywhere you want. So you can play the games you want across devices, anywhere you want.
The relevant part about AMD, the details we're meant to seek, is this part here.
Together with AMD, we are advancing the state of art in gaming silicon to deliver the next generation of graphics innovation, to unlock a deeper level of visual quality, and immersive gameplay and player experiences, enhanced with the power of AI.
There you have it, no further questions necessary. But they really could have just linked to this. 3 days after that Xbox video, AMD put out their own featuring chair and CEO Lisa Su. And it's, at least slightly more specific.
Together, we are building a vibrant open ecosystem that delivers the next generation of graphics and immersive gameplay powered by AI that includes new foundational models to accelerate the state-of-the-art in rendering.
At this point, you may be wondering, but not wanting to ask out loud, is it weird that the CEO of AMD has the exact same haircut as the CEO of NVIDIA? And the answer is no, because apparently they're cousins.
And Lisa Su, who, by the way, is a distant cousin of yours, right?
She's terrific.
At AMD?
Yeah, she's terrific.
Anyway, the idea that Xbox told you to go look at that Sarah Bond video for all the details you need about their next-gen plans is silly because it is so ambiguous. Also, pretty much halfway through the video, she stops referring to AMD at all and just moves on to regular Xbox talking points.
That's why we're working closely with the Windows team to ensure that Windows is the #1 platform for gaming.
All right. What I'm saying is that it's not a clear video by any means. Now, if you want an example of an unambiguous agreement video, look no further than what was just posted this week. From Project Amethyst to the future of play. AMD and Sony Interactive Entertainment's shared vision. Hold on. How many game companies is AMD going to share visions with?
AMD and Microsoft are advancing a bold shared vision for the future of gaming.
Should be noted that this Project Amethyst video was posted separately on both the AMD and PlayStation YouTube channels.
Let's walk through how to use collaborations and some important things to keep in mind.
YouTube, stop there. They're not going to listen. But the video opens and closes with the AMD logos. They're filming in Texas. I bring this up because I do think this is more of an AMD video than a PlayStation one, despite the presence of Mark Cerny. I do find the formality of it all pretty funny, because the co-host chairs are positioned toward each other at an angle as if this would be an interview, but then both Mark Cerny and Jack Wynn address us directly. Occasionally, they will end a sentence by admiringly looking back at the other person. But for the most part, the whole setup looks like an uncomfortable sit-down where both of your parents are, in the most roundabout way possible, trying to explain why we can't get a dog yet. But you could probably guess at this point what I think is the major problem with this video. Yep, these two. Do not misunderstand me. Having figurines of Tifa and Aerith is not inherently a problem. If anything, it just indicates you have impeccable taste. However, Tifa is not that much bigger than Aerith. You're looking at two figures of close but entirely different scales, standing directly next to each other. That's a display shelf faux pas. Now, putting a little knight down there for extra cool points is effective. But unfortunately, at this point, I think all of your audience is trapped imagining what a 6'7" Tifa would be like. She could probably pick you up by your ankles. I'm sorry, what's this guy saying?
Earlier this year at Computex, we introduced neural radiance caching, a key part of FSR Redstone. Now, we're building on that with Radiance Cores, a new dedicated hardware block designed for unified light transport.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, man. Very cool. Truthfully, truly, a lot of everything that is being said in this video goes far over my head. But I do appreciate the visuals. See, currently on the PlayStation 5 consoles, data is compressed like this. Just the colors, which results in a normal, boring city. However, with Project Amethyst, all the data is universally compressed, resulting in Sci-Fi City. Now, we should talk about Project Amethyst because, to be clear with you, it's not the code name for Sony's next-gen console. In fact, it's the exact opposite of that.
Amethyst is not about proprietary technology for PlayStation. In fact, it's the exact opposite.
So that clip was from Project Amethyst's first original announcement, which actually happened in December. It's pretty strange in that Mark Cerny is standing at a lectern and, as they teach you in public speaking, moving his eye contact around the room, yet we never see or hear the audience. Could just be a tough crowd, I guess?
So there's a certain amount of flopflation going on here. We did not.
Anyway, if you don't know your semi-precious stones, amethysts are violet, which explains this part.
We have begun a deeper collaboration with AMD. For the project name, we're taking a hint from AMD's red and PlayStation's blue. The code name is Amethyst.
The idea is that Project Amethyst is an equal parts collaboration that both companies can benefit from. AMD is happy to promote the work of Amethyst today because they'll get to implement it into big honkin' GPUs like that one back there. After all, gamers, there's something you should know about AMD.
Gaming has always been at the heart of what we do, and it's never meant more than it does right now. We're here for the players, the creators, and the communities that make this industry matter. And everything we're building is for you.
Everything? Okay. For PlayStation. When they're not producing a Peacock original series or a concert tour that they end up mostly canceling, you could say genuinely they are a company that is mostly focused on video games. So, this was the most relevant part.
Overall, it's of course still very early days for these technologies. They only exist in simulation right now, but the results are quite promising, and I'm really excited about bringing them to a future console in a few years' time.
There you have it. Years off. A few years, in fact. There's something kind of reassuring about that. All in all, after this week, I do feel like it's safer to assume that by the time the next generation of consoles does roll around, we will be able to justifiably, indignantly mutter, "It's about time." And that's delayed input. I'll be back next week. Until then, thanks for watching. Look, I know he's incredibly accomplished. There's sometimes like somebody just does a specific thing that you just can't get out of your mind. And for me, when I see NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang, I can't help but think about this one particular moment in video game history. So for the PlayStation 3 reveal at E3 2005, there was a lot of talk about the hypothetical potential of the console, since it wasn't really super locked in yet. So NVIDIA had 20 minutes of stage time. And the funniest part of that whole thing is when Jensen Huang introduces Luna, a computer-generated person, and the particular details that he wanted to point out about her.
The specular shine on her lips, the soft shadows under her nose and above her lips. Notice that the specular highlight on her cheeks shows the imperfections of her skin. Notice that light is penetrating her skin and scattering underneath her skin so that you see her rosy cheeks. The volumetric shadows on her hair. Her hair looks so incredibly soft.
Maybe rosy cheeks were objectively impressive in 2005, but that was all followed by zooming out to reveal that Luna is surrounded by 3 giant hand monsters. And again, granted, if you want to demonstrate light passing through something, I can see why hands would be a good idea, but we can all agree there's something unnerving about this scenario. And it would be fair if you're looking at me at this moment and saying, Kyle, you're looking at the man who is CEO of what will become the most valuable company in the world in 2025. Okay? He will appear on TV backhandedly making fun of his cousin for giving up 10% of her company to OpenAI while banging his leather jacket sleeves against the glass table.
Considering they were so excited about their next generation product, I'm surprised that they would give away 10% of the company before they even built it. And so, anyhow, it's clever, I guess. You're
saying, Kyle, buddy, I think you're projecting a bit here. Okay, it's not like he's in love with Luna.
This is a simple technology demonstration of what is the possibility of the PlayStation 3. Thank you. Luna is beautiful enough to fall in love with.